Yo, people, welcome back to another stream. I'm joined by the legend himself, Mr. 500,
Talk to me.
OTC. How are you doing? And after you said it, I think we need a speech from you. We need a speech from you.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Hit 500 subs and trying to hit the next goal 1K. But I've been remarkable. AJ fight week. I'm pumped. I'm excited. And I'm all good. But in terms of speech, just everyone knows this. Thank you very much for all the love and support that you guys have been showing me as well. Um, Everything still continues. More content to be pushed out as well, from reactions to a lot of historical content to documentaries, reactions to speaking about hot topical videos as well, previews and watch alongs. So there's a lot of boxing content that will be produced. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm grateful for you guys. And on to the next one. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Great speech, great speech. 10 out of 10. And yeah, sorry I had to full screen you. Sorry, I had
No
to.
problem.
Um, but yeah, of course, it's the Usyk versus Joshua fight to preview the whole do most of the card, maybe the whole card even.
Yeah.
But uh, I put a poll out when I scheduled the stream. Usyk, who wins is Usyk versus Joshua. So far, 2 votes for Usyk and 0 for Joshua. So if you think Joshua is going to win, vote. It's only 2 votes, so it's not that much. And
But yeah.
yeah, uh, we will get into the Usyk versus Joshua fight. Save it for later. I got a lot to say. So yeah, but we will start off with uh
There's a lot of people on the undercard,
yeah.
On the undercard,
I don't
how,
know.
how it's been assembled, it's a bit unorthodox. So let me just explain that. So the event's been bought out by the Saudis, and they have full control over the show. So they got full control of the network and who's on the undercard. They gave a set amount of slots to matchroom fighters. They gave one slot to um Anthony Joshua fighters, so like anybody that signed under him, and then they're putting their own set of fighters on there as well, like a couple. So it's a hybrid of a lot of people's fighters that will be fighting on the undercard. Um, so it's not all top level boxers, shall we say?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So uh, let me see if I recognize some of these. Uh, I reckon 2 names recognize.
Yeah,
That's the Tabiti versus Wilson
yeah.
and the Lapin versus Yorgo. That's the 2 I kind of recognize.
Crazy thing is, I don't know. Those are the two that I don't recognize. I no, I think was it Money Kicks. I think one of them was um Money Kicks. I think he's a YouTuber based out in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. He specializes in footwear. And he's one of the biggest out there. He's at the KSI in like Abu Dhabi, Dubai, people like places like that. He'll be fighting on the card. A few people on the card. If we wanted to talk about it, Ramla Ali. Ramla Ali will be the first female boxer to fight in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia of all time. The Saudis want to include, well, they've begun to include women's boxing in their country. Ramla Ali is one of the first people that they've decided. I think, for me, I think this is the best person that they could have chose to do this in terms of rolling it out. She's Muslim. She's understands the culture back to front. So yeah, I thought she's gonna fight. I don't even know who she's fighting some lady. I like the lady that she's fighting isn't well known. Isn't well known. So,
No one.
but it'd be good. It'd be good, like, to get her out there for the whole event, etc. You've got Ben Whittaker on the undercard. Ben Whittaker. I happened to have the chance, the amazing chance to meet him and his father a couple of months ago. He's an Olympic silver medalist. He's signed to Anthony Joshua's management company. He's also trained or training with Sugar Hill, which is Tyson Fury's coach. And he's basically Anthony Joshua like manages him, like manages his career, like that's how it's working. So he's having his second fight. His first fight was in end of July, and that was a very good debut. He's coming up his second fight. He's 24 years of age. Very good prospect. Coming up the rankings, he's fighting another person that's like, it's a second fight. It'd be like a tune-up fight. It's not the best of opponents, but it's his second fight. Who else is up because you've got Badu Jack, another individual who's well known amongst the Saudi community. He's one of the best. He's one of the best boxers for his weight class. As it stands, he's probably in the top 10. He's just out there just to make a lot of money and fight like tune-up fights. You know what I mean? He's not fighting a top level opposition. He's just here to collect a lot of money. And then the rest of the undercard. Oh, you got Callum Smith against Budalik. Callum Smith is a former world champion at super middleweight. His only loss was against Canelo Alvarez around December 2020. Lost to Canelo. Canelo then went on to fight a Turkish guy called Anthony Yildirim. Then went to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Then fought Caleb Plant. Then fought Dimitri Bivol straight afterwards. And he was the first person that he collected the belt from, or one of the first people to collect the belt from. So, yeah, that's his only loss from Liverpool. And so, yeah, the opponent, Budalik, is a half decent opponent. I would say he's about top 15, top 20 light heavyweight in the world. He's not amazing, but he's half decent. And in terms of the undercard, it's a very decent undercard. I wouldn't say it's the best. I have to admit, there's no other. Oh, there's a championship fight, but like we're talking about very small men here, like men that are like 105 pounds or what, like we're talking about like basically,
Super lightweight.
yeah, like you're talking about many people basically, who have the biggest of following. So they'll be having a world title shot, but in terms of quality and profile, it's not the biggest that's on the undercard. Not really. But yeah, you knew a couple of names as well.
Yeah, there is a couple of names, but we won't get into much of the undercard. But yeah, like it's yeah, we let's start off. What's let me just pull up the card here. Where is it? I had it. Wait, yeah, it is. So we will start off with the Zhang versus Jurkovic fight. We'll start off with that
I
highly
forgot about that.
anticipated fight.
Yeah,
And
it's a good fight.
it's going to be interesting. It's it's tough to say. So let me pull
Yeah,
up some stats. Those right.
yeah.
No.
Whilst you're looking for them, Zag is an interesting fellow. Very interesting. Uh, I've never, after prior to him, I've never come across a Chinese heavyweight. Never. So he's it's an eye opener for me. Hergovich is one of the top 15 heavyweights in the world. And this is a good fight for Hergovich. In terms of career wise, I think Zag is rather like an older gentleman. And for me, Hergovich is weird because he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but he's very boring. Like, if I wanted to describe him as a footballer, he's very boring, but he's very efficient. If I wanted to describe him as a footballer, he would be Harry Kane level of like just bland. You know what I mean? He's there, he's
Yeah,
bland, but he's very very good. You know what I mean? He's top 15. He's relatively young compared to the other heavyweights, so I think that it's going to be a good fight between them both. Um, watched a couple of Zhang, fights. I wasn't impressed. It was a bit of like a little bit of a nothing. It's like, yeah, he's decent, but it's not amazing. I don't see him beating a Hergovic, put it that way. But it's a good fight. It's a very good fight for the undercard. Absolutely.
yeah, true. Um, and so we'll get into some of the stats. Let me just pull up the. So, uh, Mr. Zhang's
Hmm.
record is 24-0-1. So he has lost.
It's a draw, I think. I
Sorry,
think it's a draw.
drawn one, and uh, Borgovic, I think that's how you pronounce it, is
Hergovic.
yeah, Hergovic, okay,
Yeah.
is unbeaten, beaten, both the same height. Um, Zhang got the southpaw stance,
Oh.
orthodox for Hergovic,
Hmm.
and Zhang is close to the 40 mark, 39, and Hergovic is 30. If you look, uh, Zhang made his debut, 8 years ago in 2014, 5 years ago for Hergovic. So, yeah, it's interesting to see
Hmm.
who's going to be on top. If you look at the KO percentage, Hergovic at 68 and Zhang 79. By KO wins 12 for Hergovic and 19 for Zhang. So both really
Similar.
both in good form. So it's a tight bout,
Hmm.
and so yeah. Let me just see when last did they both.
Do you know what a fun stat is as well? This fight was supposed to be earlier on in the year, but unfortunately, Philip Hergovic's father passed away, and he took a month off. And this fight was then rescheduled for the undercard of AJ. It's supposed to happen earlier this year.
Okay, fair. Hashtag Aiden says hi. Hi Aiden.
Pick up hashtag Hayden.
Liverpool are winning the group, says Susan.
Listen,
Quadruple incoming, quadruple.
Liverpool.
Chelsea was um first win a game, Elias first win a game. That's all I'm saying. First win a game. Then you
Yeah,
can speak.
yeah. First for the game. It might be against Man United, so like
Might.
quadruple. Well, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're gonna slap up United, and I will be here smiling about it
If it
because
is a draw, if it is a draw, oh my days.
no, it can't be a draw. It can't be a draw. The Liverpool, but yeah, Liverpool. I knew they were gonna. Yeah, listen, I knew. I know we're going off topic, yeah, but whilst they're here, I knew Liverpool were not going to have it as good as the season this season as they did last season. I actually predicted they were going to finish fourth in the top four, but that's another story for another day. Because I think we'll finish above them, and I think Tottenham will finish above them. So yeah, Liverpool, you guys are
That were
you guys,
noodles. That were
yeah,
noodles.
yeah, exactly.
That's
Though,
all.
yeah, this guy, spicy Andy Carroll. Anyway, back to back to boxing.
That's it. Activity check for both. Ergovic last fought 8 months ago, 14 days ago. Zhang's last outing was 3 months ago, 11 days. So um,
Yeah.
Zhang has fought as a 5 months advantage on Kovic, but I just think it was scheduled to happen earlier this year, and Zhang has fought in
Yeah.
that time. But uh, I read out the stats,
It was,
and I
yeah.
think
Actually, it was, sorry, hello. It was, the time that Zhang fought, the last time he fought, the 3 months ago. That's when he was supposed to fight Hergovic, but
uh,
unfortunately, that was when he was supposed to fight Hergovic. Unfortunately, Hergovic's father passed away, and therefore, like, he couldn't fight. You know what I mean? So,
oh,
um,
okay.
I think
And
Zhang he fought it was like a last minute, like 2 days notice guy, like some random guy. He was high up on the card. He was, honestly, he was high up on the card, and they dropped him right back to the bottom because he was fighting some nobody.
fair enough, fair enough. But your prediction, your thoughts, who's taking this?
Hergovic, Hergovic. I think Hergovic is going to win this. Probably on point because he's been out the ring for a long time. A little bit, well, not a long time. In heavyweight, 8 months is not as long as people will say. It's heavyweights. They fight once or twice a year, once every 6 months, an extra 2 months. I don't think it's as inactive as a lot of people. Um, Very skillful fighter. I
Tyson
just think
Fury.
Tyson Fury. He's a Yeah. We might have to talk about him another, like, later on. But yeah, in terms of who's going to win it, I think Hergovic is going to win this. Actually, on points. I think he's going to win this on points. The other guy's 49, 49, 39 years of age. And I just think that he will just hang in there for the whole fight. You know what I mean? And whilst
Yeah.
the early part will just be getting the cobwebs off, getting back into the swing of things, and then he'll pick up towards the back end.
Fair enough. And yeah, I want to say Zhang, but you know what? I'm going with my gut. I'm going with my gut. I'm going Zhang, and
Wow.
I don't think it will last long. I think Egoich will might just try and get the cobwebs off, and I think then Zhang will strike. Will it last 5 rounds on
Wow. Okay.
stamina? I don't. The thing is, I if I say like 11 or 6 or plus 6 rounds, then the question comes in: is it will you have enough stamina?
Yeah. At 39 years of age,
So,
it's tough.
uh, I have to say 4th round just for my prediction to make
Wow.
sense.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting. Okay. I know what you're
um,
talking about. You're talking about early part of the round when
yeah,
Hergovic is getting the cobwebs up, when he's kind of getting into the swing of things. Zangu sees that as an opportunity to strike and take it right. It's plausible. It's definitely possible. Um,
yeah,
Hergovic is at a much higher level though. That's why
yeah.
it's a bit. But he's been out. Yeah, there's a lot of key factors it's plausible. It's plausible.
It is definitely. I agree with that, but it. I just want to say like an upset. I just got
Yeah,
this gut feeling.
there's
Might
always
not
an
be
upset.
true, but yeah. Now the next fight is yeah. So Smith versus whatever you call
Boda
whatever
League,
is okay.
Boda League. Yeah,
Bobely.
yeah.
Okay, Bobely. Smith versus Bobely. British. Both have lost one fight. Smith 28.
Oh,
Uh,
pardon me.
apologies. Um, Smith 28 wins, 21 to Beverly. Same age, or quite. Um, 33 to Beverly.
Mm,
And Smith 32, 61 in height to Beverly. And six, no, not 61, 6 foot 1.
Yeah.
6'3" to Smith. Imagine 61 centimeters. Jeez, you're, you're short. You're
That's
short.
like I'm sitting down as well. That's like this height. That's 61. Like this height. Like the side basically where my name is.
Yeah, that's short. That's short. Again, um, different stance.
Mm.
One is southpaw in Bo, Bo,
Bodalik.
yeah, and the other one is orthodox of Smith,
Yeah.
and then of course, wins by KO 20 to Smith, 12 to the other one. KO percentage 71 to 75. No, not 75, 57. Apologies. And yeah, both really close in stats,
Yeah.
but from the stats I can see, Smith probably has the bigger punch on him if you look at his KO record. So,
I think you got to take it with a pinch of salt. You know why? Smith, this is his second fight at light heavyweight. He's fought at lower weight classes or a lower weight class prior to this. And so his first fight was against Lenin Castillo, where he knocked him out in round three, or round two, or round three. That was his last light heavyweight fight. Do you know what I mean? Just to add that in, to put a little bit of context, and also Smith was a former world champion. I don't think Budalik was. In terms of
okay,
context,
okay, fair enough, fair enough. Um, but yeah, let's just look at the win loss of fight. So, where is it? Activity check. Smith last five fights have come over a 3 year period. You know, yeah, and they don't even have Boba League's activity win loss he fought, so it's probably low. Like, win loss
yeah.
did he fought? Do you know?
Budalik, that is a great question. I don't know. He's very highly ranked, but I don't know. Let me just double check because I think I might be able to find it. Matthew Baudelic. Let me just look for him. So Matthew Baudelic is a French fighter. He last fought on the 20. So okay, he fought this September last year.
No, okay, September last year.
Yeah,
So yeah, a year ago. That's fair. That's fair.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's decent.
yeah.
When did Callum Smith fight? Because he signed to a different promoter, and so the last time he fought on Eddie Heard show was in September last year as well. I could be mistaken. Um, so yeah, the last time he fought was, let me just double check, was against, yeah. So he fought. I remember his fight because I was there. It was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So this guy fought the AJ undercard or the AJ undercard last year. Oh, I think we might have lost you. Oh, I think you might, or maybe I'm gone. I don't know. I think I'm cool. Yeah, I think you're gone, Hannah. That's it. We're back on.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, Callum Smith last fought on the AJ versus Usyk undercard, the first fight. Ironically,
Okay.
he's fighting on the rematch of the second fight. You go right this time.
I just quickly want to. I just keep seeing a frozen picture of yourself. So I'm just
Oh,
going to.
I can
Yeah,
see you. I'm all good.
yeah. I can see you. You're on the bottom backstage. I can see you talking, but on the main screen I have front of me. I just see a frozen picture of you.
Same. Like the last one, I saw you frozen completely. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I see
Um,
myself because I've got my OBS, and I'm moving, and I can see myself, and I'm moving on the actual stream.
so
I'm moving.
yeah, I can see myself moving. Wait, let me just go out and then I will come back in.
Yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. That's not a problem. Um, but yes, guys, we've infiltrated Hano's stream. Okay, let's go. In terms of Callum Smith, did you touch upon this as well? Callum Smith is very highly ranked. He's highly ranked amongst the WBC. I think this fight is for a. I think I could be mistaken, but this could be for a final eliminator for a world title shot. Who currently holds the WBC? I think it's Oh, you're back. I was just giving a bit of context on
No,
Callum Smith.
continue, continue.
Yeah, he's so because he's a world champion for the WBC, when he went up weight class, they ranked him very highly. So currently he's number one with the WBC. And I think the belt holder is either Bivol or Beterbiev. I don't know which one it is though. And I'm tempted to say it's Bivol. No, it's not. Bivol holds one belt. Beterbiev holds. No, wait, no. The WBO was won by Joseph Jr. It's Beterbiev. That's it. It's Beterbiev. Beterbiev holds the belt for WBC. And so I think this is a final eliminator for that belt. So if he
Okay,
wins this, he should be close to a world title shot afterwards.
fair, fair enough. And yeah, so let's get on to predictions. Smith or the French fighter?
I'm going for Callum Smith. Late stoppage. Late stoppage. I'm thinking no, not late, but like ninth round stoppage. Ninth round stoppage. I'm getting the gist that this guy he is half decent, but I think Callum Smith is at that higher level. Um, so yeah, I'm saying a ninth round stoppage by Callum Smith.
Fair enough. Uh, I'm also going Callum Smith, and I'm going seventh round KO.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah,
Although he did look strong in his last fight last year, he made a man like rattle. Like he knocked him out, knocked him down on the floor, and the guy was like shaking, like rattling. I think he was having like a fit. So I think Callum Smith's power has really elevated when he went to the new weight class. When he went higher up, I think he brought on a lot of power with him. It's interesting, yeah.
yeah, it is. But take a bit of a break from the upcoming fights and just look at the poll. The poll, as it stands, 4 votes, only one for Anthony Joshua, three for Usyk.
Boo.
So the well, I know.
The streets are haters. The streets are
Okay,
haters.
if you OTC, if you want to vote for Joshua, you can vote as I
Yeah,
voted for Usyk.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm gonna
So
do that.
so keep so what's the we'll see now what the poll when the poll changes what the results will be.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we will take a bit of a break from the upcoming fight. Talk about the man many people think is one of, if not the best boxer of his generation, Tyson, the Fight Man Fury.
Um. Yeah.
Who
This
has
guy's.
retired? Wait,
Yeah.
has retired for the 224th time.
He's not a serious boxer. He's not a serious boxer. He's not the best of this generation because he's not beaten the most amount of top level fighters in this generation. He's not. You can't claim to be the best of this generation. Your greatest win was against Vladimir Klitschko, who AJ won as well, and against Deontay Wilder, who's a decent fighter, but hasn't got a lot of top 10 wins on his record. Probably beaten only one top 10 contender in his life. One on his record, and that's the Luis Ortiz. And that's a questionable one as well. So I did not think that Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko, bearing in mind, it was a very similar performance to an Usyk win. Remember last year when Usyk won? It was very similar performance, if not worse actually. He was jabbing, clinching, 1-2 clinch. It wasn't. It wasn't an amazing performance. The guy asked for a rematch. He ran away and said that he's retired. So it's very difficult because I think potentially a lot of people also agree with me as well that maybe Vladimir Klitschko may have beaten him in the rematch. You know, it's like Andrew Ruiz against AJ. Andrew Ruiz beat AJ once in the rematch. AJ took him out easily, and I think if there was a third fight, I think it would be the same case. So, in terms of whether this guy's retired, I would say he's retired when he relinquishes the WBC belt because he's only got rid of the Ring Magazine belt. But the Ring Magazine belt, how it works is that they get given to the person who's the best boxer in that weight heavy, in that weight category. Usually, it's the person who's got the belts as well. Well, like majority of the belts, and so you can, if he comes in and fights Anthony Joshua next or Alexander Usyk, he'll be fighting for that belt again. Like it's not making a difference to his life. The reason why I think he is holding on to that belt is because if Usyk wins, I don't think he's going to fight Usyk. He doesn't want to fight Usyk. If AJ wins, I think he'll be more keen and interested in fighting AJ. He's not
Yeah,
retired until he gets rid of that WBC title belt, his world title belt. Once he gets rid of that, that's when I can consider him retired. You know what I mean? Until then, he's not retired to me.
yeah,
He can
and
say it a
like
thousand times. He can say every day of the whole year, you're not retired, mate, until that belt is gone. That's like saying that I've left my house, I've moved out of my house, but you still got the front door keys. Like, come on.
yeah, but exactly what me and Fight Fan TV and Chris, who was in the chat, said.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the CV for it, so why it can't be the greatest because it doesn't have the CV. But he has the talent. It doesn't have the CV.
He
It's
don't
like
have the CV, but he doesn't have the stats to back it. He's only had, let me think, he's only had two, no, yeah, he's only had two title defenses in his life. Two. He's had two title defenses in his life. One of them was a trilogy against Deontay Wilder, and the other one was a mandatory. So it was a force. Both of them were contractually forced upon him. Both of them, like were contractually forced upon him. One of them was against Deontay Wilder. The other one was against Dillian White. He's not fought a single other title defense. Anthony Joshua has had 9 title defenses or title fights in his life. Because if you, when I mean title fights, I'm talking about he's had a belt, maybe somebody else had another belt. I don't class that as a defense. I class it as like a unification. All of those combined, he's had 9 title fights. You know what I mean? Compared to
yeah,
Tyson Fury's 2. Tyson Fury's only had 1, 2, 3 title wins to AJ's probably 10.
yeah,
Like,
true, true.
do you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
got to do a lot more. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a lot more. He's only faced one, no, sorry, two, maybe 3 top 10 contenders in his whole career out of 30 something fights. AJ's fought about 6 or 7, maybe even 8. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Um, and yeah, I would also be scared if I was him of Usyk. Not that much of Joshua. I would also be scared of Usyk. But that's a great way to segment into Usyk versus Joshua, fight number two, rematch of the ages. Um, I got um, a guy who is part of Joshua's coaching team, management team, OTC. He,
Yeah,
he is Joshua's lawyer,
talk to me.
informal lawyer.
I
So,
carry these bags as well.
so
I also give a water in between fights. Trust me, I could do the whole lot. I'm joking. I mean, I'm not any of those. Before the
yeah,
lawyers try to sue me, I don't work for 258 management. I don't work for AJ Promotions. None of that.
yeah, but we don't even have to read out the stats. We can just talk about it. Now,
Yeah.
Joshua,
Mm.
going to this fight, epic transformation of his physique, um, and mentally, I think he has recovered with a bit.
Mm.
Um, and I haven't seen the press conferences. I don't know if you have.
I have.
What's the feeling like going into the fight?
It's very simple with AJ. It's clear as day what his intentions are, what his mood is. It's very clear. Like, and the press conference was a bit like AJ gave short answers. He didn't elaborate too much. He just gave short, sweet answers. But he wasn't laughing. He wasn't joking around. He wasn't like having like everything's all kiki and having all fun. No, and I watched a little bit of last year's press conference. You know, the one that he did before he fought Usyk the first time. There was a lot of like respect that he gave to Usyk. He said, "No, Usyk is the top level fighter. Usyk is a top level fighter. Usyk is a former undisputed." Like he was saying a lot of stuff to boost Usyk. He was joking around, like he was doing a lot of that kind of stuff. This time, he seemed focused. He seemed locked in. He said, last time he was talking about how fun the fight camp was, how fun the training camp was. This time he was saying, "Look, listen, I trained hard. It wasn't easy. I didn't really enjoy it a lot, but I trained hard, and that's what I like." He looked angrier. He looked bigger. He looked a lot more locked in. I didn't even hear him crack one joke. When Usyk wanted to do all of this fun stuff, mind game stuff, AJ got the hell out of there. He ran away. He gone. He didn't let it affect his brain. So in terms of how we look from the way he the public workout, where it's not really saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like he goes in like a minute and a half, runs around the ring, jabs once, like a couple of pad works and gets the hells out of there, does the interview, gets the hell out of there. It's not really a workout. It's more like I don't know what it is. It's not a workout. But he looked bigger. He was every shot that he was throwing throughout, like in that workout, was to the body. Most of it actually was to the body, or it was a power shot. You know what I mean? It wasn't no dancing around, tick tap, box like stuff like that. So um everything I've seen this week, from the haircut to how he's boxing in the public workout to how he looked the press conference, all roads lead to I am looking for a knockout. I am looking to knock this guy the hell out of here. I'm looking for violence. I'm looking to just cause this guy so much pain. And I'm looking to go through the fire. That is the vibe I'm getting with AJ. You know what I mean? Which I believe is the right mindset to go into a fight with. How did you see him throughout the week? He looked bigger. Like how did you notice him?
Okay, so uh, uh, Ivana, Joshua is king. Joshua went. So before I go into that, the poll is the poll just swayed. It was 50-50. Now it's back into Usyk. So
Huh?
the poll has won. It was
Okay,
50-50. Now Usyk is winning once again.
that's
So
fine.
yeah. Um. So yeah. So of course I saw Usyk. I saw his physique. He's not in the greatest shape.
Usyk.
But yeah, Usyk. Not in the greatest shape.
Mm.
He is in good shape, but not of the level Joshua is. So it's it's going to be interesting to see how he performs. And Usyk, he needs to get into it. That's how he works. He gets into it, it's done. You're done
Mm.
after. And I think the first time I watched Usyk was Usyk versus um, Conor Money McGregor. So
Huh?
that's
Usyk versus McGregor. You mean Tony Belly?
oh yeah, one
Yeah.
it was yeah. Uh, no, it was Usyk versus somebody big, big social media star.
Oh, Chisora. No, it was Tony. You're talking about Tony Belly. I think you're talking about Tony Belly. The one where he
It
knocked him out.
yeah, yeah, quick like
Y- Yeah, that was Tony Belly.
fourth round, fourth round.
That was Tony Belly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, 19. Okay. Um. So he has record. Usyk is for me he's on another level, but the thing is, Joshua does does Usyk does he really wants this fight? Does he really want? Because you see, there's not much hype. It's in Saudi Arabia, so is it just like I can lose this, lose this? Nothing is. Is there belts on the line?
Yeah. The belts on the line. Yeah, all of the belts apart from one, which is held by Tyson Fury. Ironically,
Oh, okay. So
yeah. But it's
nah,
free.
okay.
It's free to air in Ukraine. I think he wants to win for Ukraine. I think that's. I think that is the key deciding factor. Ukraine.
Yeah. The mentality of Usyk
Yeah.
is he like, let me do this, let me punch him up to
Usyk is
show.
a very like Usyk. I'm telling you, this guy is like there could be a fire burning outside his changing room, right? Or not outside the changing room, but like around him, and he just has to switch on a fight for that, like for in the ring for those 12 rounds. He's gonna do it. He's a nutcase. The guy is a nutcase. He will switch it like bang, like like an army, like somebody's in the army. They can switch on like that. They're like in the zone. That's Usyk for you. Um, in terms of like whether he's ready, but whether he's taking this fight fully seriously, he is because you know why? Usyk's career from cruiserweight when he was undisputed, he fought in a lot. He's like an away fighter. He fought in every person's back garden, whether it was big hype, small hype. He fought in everyone's back garden. You know what I mean? He fought when
Yeah.
there was nobody there. He fought when there was everybody there, and none of which have faced him anything differently. This guy is on a different level. He's had 300 amateur, I think 400 amateur fights. Some of them in front of nobody. And he's still like, you know what I mean? So this guy is game. Like this guy is he's coming here to do damage. I know what you're saying with regards to he looks a bit bigger, Usyk. It's a bit hard to tell, but I compared it to last year. So what I done, I watched Usyk's workout, public workout, and I compared it to last year's one. And I wanted to see it side by side. Like I put one computer, one screen, and I put the other one on the other screen. And I wanted to see what the big difference was between last year and this year. Um, it's not as much as you think it is. It's not as much as you think it is. And I was looking at it through a t-shirt. Both of them were it's very similar t-shirts that they were wearing. It wasn't like one baggy one, one thin one. Like it was around the same ones. And he looked a little bit bigger this time, a little bit, but not a lot. I won't be surprised if he weighs in a couple of pounds over like he did last year. Like I think last year he weighed like 227 or something like that pounds. I won't be surprised if he weighs like 230. Something minute. Um, but he looked a little bit big, a little bit more filled out because and this is the mystery. Why is he bigger? Is he trying to hurt AJ? Is he trying to take an AJ punch? Bigger you are, the more resistance you have to a punch. Why is he a bigger? This is the mystery of Alexander Usyk. It's very difficult to tell. If he was skinnier, we know what he's doing, running away, jab, running away. If he's bigger, it's tough to
But
tell. It's
it's,
tough
yeah,
to tell.
definitely it's tough to tell. But let's but yeah, George. The thing is, Usyk, he can switch it on, but Willie and Joshua, can he overcome that? What
Mental
type
block.
of, yeah, Spurs mental block?
Mm,
Uh, can he overcome that of forming on the big? I know he has performed, but this is one of the biggest stages of his career.
mm.
Can he perform? Can he deliver? No Usyk can, but can AJ. And I know you are you probably the biggest
AJ
AJ
fan.
fan out there. So AJ knocking him out in second round.
Nah, nah. Like honestly, I think, and it's tough to tell. Like I haven't watched all of AJ training videos because AJ's been very secluded. With boxing, it's really on the night. He could be perfect in training. He can look fantastic. Can say the right thing. Goes into the ring, light flashes. He freezes. He's shook now. What like and Usyk knocks him out. That can happen. It's happened to a lot of fighters. But I think AJ is bigger. He wants, and this is the thing. I think Usyk won the first fight. We have to think about why Usyk won the first fight. Not necessarily, oh yeah, he won, so he's gonna win the second time. You know, um, why did he win the first fight? And you also have to rate Usyk's performance in that first fight to AJ's performance in that first fight. Usyk was an 8 out of 10 in that first fight, an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5 out of 10, comparison to how he usually is. That's very good. He's performed better at cruiserweight, where he's a lot lighter, he's a lot quicker, but it was still an 8.5 out of 10. AJ put in a 3 out of 10 performance, a 3 out of 10 performance in that first fight. And so when we're looking at all of those key factors, Usyk, has he even felt an AJ super punch? Does he know what that feels like? Has he felt an AJ punch that he done against Pulev? Remember when he got against Pulev, like he punched him like multiple. Has Usyk felt that against AJ? No. AJ, and even though he hasn't, AJ is a lot bigger, so he's probably a lot more powerful. This version of AJ is a completely different version to what Usyk saw last year. I can guarantee that for free. Almost a completely different person. But will that be enough on the night? I honestly, I think so. I think so. If AJ does what he's supposed to do, regardless of what Usyk does, I think AJ could win. Even if Usyk was a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 AJ beats a 10 out of 10 Usyk all the time. With the right game plan, a 10 out of 10 AJ will be a 10 out of 10 Usyk. AJ is the bigger man, he's the stronger fighter, he's the more powerful puncher. And if he lets his hands go and he does the right things and tactically he does the right decisions, he could win. I'll describe it as Chelsea versus Liverpool. Okay, perfect example. Remember last season, Liverpool were a 10 out of 10 against us. Chelsea were a 8 out of 10 against Liverpool. A 10 out of 10 Chelsea beats a 10 out of 10 Liverpool 9 times out of 10, or even Spurs is not perfect example. A 10 out of 10 Chelsea beats a 10 out of 10 Spurs, regardless of what their players got. And so I think AJ will be very good on the night. He basically has to have his best ever performance in a boxing ring this weekend to defeat Usyk. His best, better than Klitschko, better than all of these other fighters. His best, and if he does that, he could win.
Fair enough. Yeah, Usyk, he just has to turn up. For me, I know Joshua. For me, Joshua will turn up, but Usyk, there's just something about him. He's
Mm,
stronger. He's bigger. He's got that punch. It's me. It's, when I look at both, just my attention goes to Usyk instead of Joshua. So,
Usyk is a better fighter,
so,
better technical fighter. I agree.
so for me, Usyk, if he just has that first round where he's okay, if I hit him there, he's going to, and he's going just like hammer it,
Yeah.
hammer it,
He's,
and then it's knockout blow.
so what round? Wow. First, wow. You think he's going to be started off like a house on fire? Wow.
Yeah, house on fire. Nah. I can't say house on fire. I think you will see what AJ brings because,
Mm,
like you said, it's a different AJ. So the first 3 rounds, it's like, okay, what's he bring? Is he bring the spice? What's he bring?
yeah.
Because they AJ has like you said, he hasn't opened it up to the public what his game plan is and training videos of him sparring and everything. So you don't know what he's going to bring. So I think Usyk first 3 maybe 4 rounds he will look, see, and then when he spots uh, where he can target him, he's going to hammer it. It's knockout blow in the 8th round.
Wow. That is
No, 9th round. Ninth.
wow. That is wow. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Honestly, I think personally, but of course, like logic and reasoning will tell you if Usyk manages to slip a lot of AJ power punches, move his feet well, and pick download that data, that new data that AJ is coming with, because the old data is expired. That old data is the wrong information. That AJ that you fought last time is not the same bloke that you're fighting today. He's not going to be as strong. Well, he's going to be stronger now. He's going to be closer to you in terms of distance. There's a lot more like this version of AJ, and this version of AJ is probably moving around the ring a lot more. Whether it will be forward, whether it will be backward, he'll be moving more. The last fight, he was flat-footed and just stood there and like tried to match Usyk. So I think that AJ can knock this guy the hell out of here. I think that if AJ lets his hands go, target the body is a key factor. Usyk, and I heard this recently as well, Usyk has been dropped 3 times in his amateur and pro career. Well, all of them was in the amateur career, and all of the shots that he got put down with were body shots. All of them. When AJ hit him to the body in the last fight, he really hurt him. Like you could have to watch it back to fully like see it, but he hurt him in the last fight. Thrown to the body. If he hits to the body with that level of new power that he's got, we're looking at an AJ round 6 stoppage. and I think round 6 because I think Usyk will be hurt in round 4, but will hang on for dear life in round 5, and AJ will knock him out round 6. That's how I see it.
So you're saying stoppage win for Joshua in round 6. Wow,
Yeah, yeah,
round
yeah,
6.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's
and
plausible. AJ gets most of his stoppages between round 3 and round 5. This guy will be a harder nut to crack, moving a lot more round 6.
yeah, okay. And the poll has gone to 50-50 once more. So
People,
it's
when I
eight,
speak, people are listening. That's what I'm saying.
eight votes down, so 50-50. Get your votes in Usyk versus Joshua, who's winning.
Mm.
But before we end it, of course, what are you going to do if Joshua loses?
What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do one video, and then I might come off social for a while. I will ignore every message about AJ. I'll just focus on the KSI fight, and then I'll come off social completely. I'll just pretend like nothing happened. Honestly, because no, honestly, I think I might even come off social to begin with. Forget the KSI fight, man. Like I can't. I might just, yeah, it'll be. But if AJ wins, oh, you're gonna hear from me. You are gonna hear from me in one way, shape, or another. My face will be in a lot of places. Yeah, so you're gonna hear from me.
Yeah. It's going to be funny if
Yeah,
if AJ loses.
I'm gonna do a watch along. So if AJ loses,
It's ending straight away,
it's
not
end this straight
even
away. Yeah,
straight
yeah.
away.
I'm not even gonna end the stream. I'm just gonna turn off my computer and just leave the house. You know.
Yeah. People, if AJ loses, just tell OTC. I hope you recover soon from your mental um, damage. Because, oh my days.
Nah, it's gonna
OTC,
hurt. It's gonna
you
hurt.
are going to be like, uh, why am I alive? What? Huh? How can this be happening?
Listen,
How?
watch the video that I done against when we lost to Usyk. When AJ lost to Usyk the first time. I could stomach it. I done a vlog as well because I was at the stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Okay, and so it was it was a very difficult experience. Yeah, like yeah. Put it this way, I've like in terms of sporting losses, I'll have the AJ loss up there with the England Euro final loss for
Fair,
England. Yeah,
fair enough.
it was a problem. It was a problem.
Right, yeah. So we will end it here. The votes are still 50-50.
Oh
So
yeah,
so it has still ended undecided who's going to win. When maybe it's going to be a double knockout and both
yeah.
the boxers
Oh,
are knocked out and
yeah.
nobody wins. Has to go to a third uh, third
No,
fight.
I think if both of them knock each other out, I think it will go straight to the scorecards, or I think it'll go to I think it will either go to the scorecard or it will be whoever knocked the first person out. I don't know. It's tough. I've never seen it in the boxing ring. I've seen it in a UFC fight, but in a boxing ring, apart
Mm,
from like in places like South America or like in bloody like Senegal or something like that. I've seen it like, but
yeah,
not in like
professional.
professional. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. Let's just look one more time. Okay, so it ends 50-50. So OTC, so that's your socials. Let me just check
Yeah,
that.
find me. Yeah, absolutely. Find me on YouTube, Off the Canvas Boxing. Um, and yeah, everything will be on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, Off the Canvas Boxing, all my social media platforms will be there as well. And yeah, that's the main one that I push out. Everything else on, like if you like, if on the channel, yeah, my media platforms will be on there as well. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook I barely use. Twitch I use, and I'll be using a lot more when the game comes out. But stay tuned for that one.
Fair enough. And yeah, I linked his Twitter and Instagram in also in the description and YouTube. Go check it out. Road to 1K. Will it be 1K before the end of the year? Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully, hopefully. But yeah, be up everyone for joining. One last look, 50-50. And yeah, be up everyone for joining. Enjoy the fight, and I will be back next week for some Premier League and Championship predictions. So stay tuned to be locked in, and I'll maybe throw some cricket into for the cricket lovers. So peace out, everybody. Make sure to like the stream, subscribe, follow everyone on the socials. Peace out, everyone.